Hello and welcome to a new video presented by Stein Investments. This one will be very different than any other because I already recorded the morning briefing video this morning and then I had to leave for an appointment which took pretty long. But meanwhile things changed very pleasant, and so I will present you the result at the end of this video. So we'll stop here, then start the morning briefing video I created already, and then you'll see the outcome of all that in the end. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome to a new morning briefing video presented by Stein Investments. This video will be a bit different because I plan to run some competition between different AI models. And so I thought about running the identical analysis here on ChatGPT. Just to explain, with Perplexity Pro, you can decide which AI model you'd like to run the analysis on. So we have here one tab with ChatGPT 4.1. The second tab here is using Gemini 2.5 Pro. And the third one is running on Grok 3 Beta. So all the data is identical, the prompt is identical, and I would say we just fire one by one and see if they will come to the same conclusion. Just as a side note, we run a time-lapse analysis, so we send 4 CSV files with exported Forex data from all the indicators we provide: FX volume, power, dynamic, levels, and then we see which conclusions the AI or the different AI models draw, and then we'll trade them separately because we have also 3 charts. The third one here is ChatGPT. The second one here is set up for Gemini with a different magic number, and the third one here is for Grok, also with a different magic number. And you can set this up yourself in the EasyTrade properties. It's called Trades Manager here because this is the development name of this product, but here you can set right on top the corresponding magic number and the strategy name. And if you then look at the files folder, at the data folder of your terminal, you'll find a subfolder for each of these strategies and magic numbers, so you can track and review your trades accordingly to the names you set here. So the results are there, but before we analyze the output of the different AI models, just a few words about Perplexity AI, which is definitely the most impressive provider, at least for me, because it offers access to all these paid pro models from the other AI providers. And I still have a subscription for ChatGPT because I worked a lot with it and have a big history on this one. But for this experimental and trading work, I seriously prefer working with Perplexity Pro because I run such comparisons as today and see the different output and judgments from the different AI models. And if you like to try it yourself, I recommend using the link we provide down below, and you'll get a $10 discount on your first subscription month. And so you can test it for around $10 and see if this is something for you as well. So let's have a look what ChatGPT says to our data. And as conclusion, there is no setups, met all criteria, directional bias, volume confirmation, and risk reward ratio bigger than 1. And there is a good reasoning why this is the case. Most symbols did not have the required volume divergence, so base volume up, quote volume down, or vice versa at the time of the snapshot. Directional alignment, ATR filter, etc., etc. You can read this if you like, but we'll move on with this one. So ChatGPT recommends to not trade at all. Gemini, on the other hand, comes with a few interesting recommendations, mainly about gold. So we have gold selling against the euro, against the Aussie dollar. Here is a risk-reward ratio of 3. Here we have a risk-reward ratio of 3 as well. We'll check that in the charts, of course, because I doubt this risk-reward ratio is really exactly identical on all these recommendations. And we have further gold sell recommendations, and if you trade all of them at once, you have some accumulated risk, because if gold moves in the opposite direction, you have 4 positions here losing, and I don't recommend trading like this. The only non-gold trading opportunity here is New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. So we'll have a look if this is somehow confirmed by Grok. And if we look at the Grok outcome, there is no gold trade at all, but we have various setups like Euro USD buy, New Zealand dollar USD buy, so Aussie dollar USD buy. It's all betting on the further weakness of the US dollar. Here is a reasonable risk-reward ratio. Here as well. Here as well. It's all close to 1, but it's okay. Here is the R1 data missing, and so it couldn't be calculated. But Euro Canadian dollar buy is a good one, because these pairs, Euro Canadian dollar and Euro USD, are pretty good correlated due to the correlation of the US dollar and the Canadian dollar, and so you can trade it in the same direction. The same is true for the New Zealand dollar Canadian and New Zealand dollar US dollar. So that's it. I would say, just to test all in detail, and for the reason of this challenge, we trade all the recommendations provided here by Gemini and all from Grok. And to do so, we switch to the corresponding trading chart here, starting with Gemini. And Gemini recommended gold against the euro. I use this reduced chart here with just FX levels loaded, because it's enough for me to see the resistance and the support, if there is any. Here in this case there is no support level at all, because this seems to be a new downtrend, and there is, at least on M5, no support level here. And I hope the trade execution and the chart switch will run pretty quickly. So XAU, Aussie dollar, also to the sell side here. I'll go with this one. Then we have XAU, Swiss franc. Okay, there my risk was too much for this trade, so I have to go for a closer stop loss, which is fair to set it here. Leave the price enough space to move. Then we have gold against the British pound. Was also a sell recommendation. Place a sell with a stop loss here, and if you look at the line label here provided by EasyTrade, then you see the risk details. So it's 0.25%, which is equal to $25, and if I place the stop loss here, it would mean to have a risk of $23. So it's within the range, and we can place it here and take profit on the downside. I told about the accumulated risk with all the gold positions sold against different other currencies, but with a risk of 0.25, it's no big deal, because I'm risking only 1% in total on the gold direction here, and I can live with this risk. It's a different story if you're trading with 1% risk per trade, then you have to adjust it to avoid to have a bulk risk. So last but not least, we have New Zealand dollar yen, the only buy recommendation here by Gemini. And we'll place our stop loss here and go for target here. So, and then I'd say we move on to the trades provided by Grok. And here we are going for the US dollar weakness. So we buy the euro and the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar against the US dollar, and we start with the euro. I just set this take profit somewhere to have it. I'll keep the positions for the rest of the day anyway to see if this works out. Here we have a pretty massive resistance, so this is definitely not ideal. And I will check now the recommendation again to see how it came to this one, because the stop loss is set at 59,953 and the take profit at 6746. 6746. Okay, this is this one, but I really don't understand how it came to the conclusion that this is a reasonable risk and reward ratio, because the current price is so close to the take profit that it makes no sense at all. So this is an excellent example of why you have to check what the AI provides you, because this risk reward ratio is definitely wrong. We'll trade it anyway just to see if it does it right on the direction, and it's possible that this resistance will be broken during the day. I don't know, but this is an excellent example that you need to check the output of the AI, because the information we provided is stated here and it's pretty clear. It's correctly exported and correctly passed into the AI, so it read correctly, and I have no idea why Grok calculated a risk and reward ratio so wrong. Really, no idea. If you want to know more, you can ask him about it and say, hey, you've done it wrong, please fix it or correct it or whatever. So you can have a real chat and dialogue with these AI tools, and they will most probably adjust it afterwards, rerun the analysis, etc., etc. But to make this in an appropriate time, I will just go through this as it came out on the very first attempt. And here I already have a position running from an earlier easy scalping setup. So I just add a further position here to Aussie dollar, US dollar to the long side. And then we have the euro against the Canadian dollar, also to the long side. There is no resistance inside, so we have to guess about the take profit. I just set it here. And last but not least, we have the New Zealand dollar Canadian. Good, that's it. What we've learned here is that even if you present identical information to 3 different AI models, the outcome is entirely different. ChatGPT takes it very serious, and that's what I love ChatGPT for, because this has been proven several times, also compared to Claude in earlier videos. You can see it in our AI trading playlist, that ChatGPT is very strict about what's written in this my prompt or in this prompt.txt file, because it considers all the rules and goals and what you define which is important to you, and then analyzes the data, and if there is something that matches these criteria, it will give you a trade recommendation. If that's not the case, it will tell you there is no setup that meets all the criteria, and so there is nothing to trade. And that's an excellent advice. And I'm really curious if these two others will outperform ChatGPT today, because they have done wrong in the risk and reward ratio, as we can see here at the Grok analysis, and Gemini came with a very bulky risk on gold, going for a further move to the downside, but is also doing serious calculation mistakes here on a risk reward ratio, because it's impossible that the risk and reward ratio is 100% identical on all these 5 pairs. So please don't trust this information blindly. You have to double check, and this is definitely the responsibility of the AI providers, not by us, because the exported data is definitely 100% clear, and then it's up to the AI providers what they make out of it. And so far, ChatGPT has been proven as the most serious one about the prompts, and the others seem to be some kind of creative. Of course, it's possible that we still earn money with these recommendations, and this kind of flexibility will provide us profits, but that's what we'll see at the end of the day. I promise I'll keep you posted, either in another video or with some screenshots at the end of the day. If you'd like to test Perplexity Pro and EasyInsight AIO, we just set a new low-level entry here for EasyInsight AIO, which can now be tested for $49, including all the indicators for a perfect AI analysis and an export with all what's needed. And I can only recommend giving it a try. It's definitely a very unique experience to work with these AI models, and I'm very curious about your feedback. That's it. I wish all of you a great and profitable day and a relaxing weekend. Catch you in the next one. So here we are again, a few hours later. After my appointment, I've seen that the first trades have been reached their stop loss, and 3 of them have been recommendations by Grok, and these 2 have been the easy scalping signals I got this morning and traded at the London opening, which is never a good idea. I usually await an hour, but in this case I just took them to see what they give, and once more it's been confirmed it's better to wait. The signal came here and then the price dropped to the downside, so yeah, that's definitely a loss that could have been avoided. And there is another one. This Aussie dollar, US dollar buy recommendation has been provided by Grok as well, and this is this trade here, and it's been closed as loss. And yeah, as I can say, the Grok trades seem to work not very well, and interestingly, all the Gemini trades have to be all open. So let's have a look, and we see there are indeed some decent profits here on this side. This is the last easy scalping trade. Then we have the first Gemini recommendation. Yeah, this resistance holds so far. The stop loss provided enough space for this trade, and we are currently turning further to the upside, so I will definitely keep that one. Then we have the downtrend on gold against the Aussie dollar. Wonderful. Then let's move this one here. Then we have gold against the Swiss franc, worked perfectly here as well. Then we have gold against the euro, worked perfectly as well. So these are really beautiful setups here detected by Gemini. I have to admit, ChatGPT didn't provide any trade recommendations at all. And so, yeah, we definitely would have missed a lot of profits we've been provided by Gemini in this example, and with ChatGPT we would have not taken any trade at all. Then there are also 2 Grok trades here that worked out. This one is euro against the Canadian dollar and euro US dollar. They are moving side by side in the same direction. That's the correlation I spoke about earlier in this video. So that said, we'll most probably end in profit or at least break even. And considering only the AI trades, all of them are fairly in profit, and Gemini is far ahead in this regard. So this competition round goes clearly to Gemini, who outperformed ChatGPT with 0 because 0 trades, and Grok, which is currently not yet clear if it might reach break even or end in a loss. Either way, I hope this made you a bit curious about these AI analyzers, and it's even for me interesting to see what's possible because there are so many symbols to check, and EasyInsight covers all asset classes. We cover cryptocurrencies, we cover indices, you can even add your favorite shares you like to check, and the AI finds setups you would never came across because you don't check 30 plus charts at once ever so often, and hence this way to upload CSV files with all the indicator data is the most comfortable way to do market-wide analysis. And I hope you've seen it's worth it, and I'm happy to welcome you in our EasyInsight community. If you drop me a line and send a confirmation of your purchase, I'll send you an invitation link. So that's it. Have a great weekend, and I'm looking forward to the next opportunities the next week. See you in the next one.